Welcome into a new season, and we're calling it Inside Westside as we visit with head coach Brian Pratt ahead of tonight's ball game with the Greenwood Bulldogs. And Coach, tell us about how training camp went as opposed to last season. You've got so many new faces trying to, get up to snuff on everything. This year, a little bit more experienced. How did that work out for you guys?
I think it's a total different situation we were in last year. There was a lot of kids that were starting their first game or starting their first high school game that ever played in. Had a quarterback that was coming in and never played in a varsity game, never started a varsity game, and to get thrown in against Greenwood, it was tough. And so fast forward to now, a decade into Wolverine football, and couldn't be more pleased with where we are as a team right now. Our leadership with our captains, Trey Thompson, our quarterback, Braden Nash, our running back, and Will Davis, our receiver. And a lot of people are saying, well, those are all offensive guys. Well, the three seniors that have been with us and went through the tough times, and they lead our football teams. They're the ones that takes us where we need to go. And, I think that as a parent in the offseason, how hard we work with Coach Woodger and our off-season program. Kids have gotten so much bigger, faster, stronger, and that just makes them play a whole lot better. And the speed of the game is slowed down. And, as we go to all our team camps and all that stuff in the summer, it's just amazing to see the same kid that was struggling last year playing really well because of the speed of the game. They understand how to play it and just repetitions that they get. So really proud of where we're at right now.
You mentioned offense. It made me think of defense and how last year the defense really late in the year, particularly that Little Rock Christian game. I mean, that was a big deal in terms of producing a lot of points for you guys. Is there any carryover at all from a defense playing confident late last year that you can kind of bring into the early part of this season?
I think 100%. I think that, as the season went on, we were starting eight sophomores. That's tough, man. 7-8 football to be able to do that. And, to start the year off 0-6. I was really proud of the character of our team as we fought through that and then ended up winning a playoff game and playing Bentonville really tough. And like you said, those last 2 weeks, we played really good defensively, and we're hoping that carries over. We've had a great offseason. As far as our camps are concerned and facing people, I thought our defense was the biggest surprise of people. A little disappointed in the way we played at the Union scrimmage, but a lot of that has to do with the preparation. We haven't really looked at going against the Union's offense, and because we were more worried about Greenwood at the time. So we've got to tackle better, and that's the one thing that we're looking for. And we also had a starter out. Ashton Jones didn't play. He was one of our best players, the safety, and he was kind of nursing an injury, and we want to get him right for the Greenwood game. So I think that defense is going to surprise a lot of people this year.
You mentioned the captains. The fourth captain will rotate each week, voted by the coaches. But Trey, Will, and Braden Nash. Just tell me a little bit more. Tell our fans a little bit more about the work those guys have put in the offseason.
Well, one thing that we do with our captains, we make them interview. They have to schedule interview time just like they're doing a job, and they have to dress up and they have to come up with a resume and they have to sit in front of us coaches. We ask them interview questions, and that's something that we look at as a big part of our program because it's not just about winning football games or being successful on the football field. It's about being successful in life, and so we're trying to teach those guys if you want to be a leader or somebody that's in charge of people, you're going to have to put in the extra work and time. And so it's fun to see those guys do that. And you look at these three that are captains, and you look back when they were freshmen or even in junior high. I mean, Trey Thompson wasn't even our starting quarterback as a freshman. You look at the team success; they didn't have a whole lot of success when they were young, but they stayed the course and they fought and they got better and they got bigger, faster, stronger, and they worked. They honed their skills and made themselves better football players. And now going in, all three of them have scholarship offers, and it just says a lot about what type of character, what kind of families they came from, and that's a huge part of being successful.
Sounds like you mentioned work a few times here. Is this a team that really hangs its hat on maybe doing hard work and doing the little things to prepare for the big things like games and trying to get a bunch of wins here?
And that's something we're on them about all the time. You know, when we started this program 10 years ago, we built it on the little things, and everything we talked about was doing the little things right, and the little things will take care of the big things. And you know, about year 5, 6, 7, we kind of got away from that and started looking at a bigger picture. And this year, after the season, we really sat down as a staff and me as a head coach, and what do I need to do better to make our team better? Because coaching the way I coached in year one of the program and coaching the way I coach now is totally different. And there's a reason for that. And, you know, we have to look at what makes these kids tick and, you know, how to get the most out of them. And I think that's something we really looked at. Our team motto this year is be the first. And we want to be the first of numerous things. We want to be the first team to average a 3.0 in GPA. We want to be the first team not to have any kids in ISS. We want to be the first team to win a conference championship. And so we break it down with that every day. We talk about it every day, and that's our focus of being the first. And I think that's something we're going to be the first to go to Greenwood and hopefully come away with the win. I think they got a big win streak going there, and we'd love to kill it.
Well, and yeah, Greenwood is the opponent. They've won the last two state championships. They've won 12 overall, and I mean, D1 quarterback Kane Archer. Where do you begin when you prepare for an opponent like this?
Well, they're tough and they're very, very well coached. Coach Young and his staff do a phenomenal job. He's a good friend of mine. We've played against them in numerous 7-on-7s. We actually beat them in the finals of a 7-on-7 a couple of weeks ago over in Siloam to win the championship of that. And it was a very intense game. Very come down to the last play, and we actually made it on defense. Ironically, we were just talking about that, but.
Mhm.
You know, I think that there's no love lost between them, but there's also a lot of respect between us. And we know that, you know, we went out and scored 35 against them last year. Unfortunately, they scored 70, and they got their entire offense back. We've got most of our defense back, so it's going to be fun to see, you know, how that all plays out. They lost a lot of guys on defense, so they're kind of like we were last year. So you never know. It might be a high scoring game. It might be another low scoring game. We don't care. We just want to make sure we have one more point than they do.
Well, and we're all excited that football is back, and we're looking forward to the season up ahead, and looking forward to these chats each week, Coach, here on Inside Westside. Thanks so much for the time today.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.